All right, hey everybody. So tonight I'm going to do this um, door hanger, this Mardi Gras door hanger, Les le Bon Temps Rouler. And these are actually cut out extra. I mean, cut out pieces. You can see I have a score so I know where to place them. And I do have a Mardi Gras mask and a jester hat that I'm going to put somewhere else. I've got two little holes up here to hang it. So I just wanted to show it like this. It's a plain background, so you can paint it however you want. And so what I think I'm going to do is maybe do a little diamond grid on here. You could decoupage on this. Now, of course, you wouldn't see through here. Another cute thing, if I had some cute Mardi Gras napkins, that I really would like to decoupage on top of that. Now, if you're doing it as a door hanger, you would have to seal it with some Mod Podge or some sort of sealer. So anyway, so this is what we're going to paint. So I have these little risers I made with the laser. I've got my tape down for sticking down my pieces. So when I paint my letters, they won't be moving around. So I'm going to stick this aside for a second. And maybe I'll go ahead and put maybe I should go ahead and paint my letters now so we can let that dry. Be letting that dry. Either way, something's going to have to dry. So I should put my L up there. Got my little dot here. I mean, I think that's a dot for a I. And this just keeps everything still, so you don't have to get your hands all dirty while you're trying to paint it. And hopefully I have enough space here for all these. Looky there, perfect. So I think I'm going to paint these yellow. So I have the same colors I used before. Like I've said before, normally I use folk art paint, but this is what I had on hand because I'm doing this at my house, not at the studio. So this is the bright yellow Craft Smarts Walmart brand and the Anita's Buttercup. So I think I've got the Anita's is what I'm using. I also have this pretty purple iris from Apple Barrel. Apparently it looks like I'm not sold on any particular brand because all of mine are a different brand. Deco Art Apple Green is the green I'm using. Now I do have a lighter purple and a darker green and some white just in case I need to add some accents, but I really don't think I'm going to use those. I think I'm just going to stick to the main Mardi Gras colors. I do have this iridescent varnish that's, I don't know if you'll even be able to pick it up on the light. Yeah, because you can't really see it, but it has like this little holographic micro glitter in it. So it's kind of cool looking. And I also have some of the tulip beads in a bottle. Now I've used this on my other project, the king cake door hanger, and I put it on top of the mask, but my mask color did not allow this to show up very good. So I think it probably has to be a darker color for this to really show up, but it is iridescent. I can see it. I know you probably can't. You just can see the glare from the light. Anywho, so I'm going to go ahead and get started painting this. Sponge would work great. And I think I just threw out the last sponge I had. So I'm going to do the background on this. I'm going to do this green and purple. So I'm going to do this lettering yellow. So let me go ahead and get some of that painted. And then we can move on. And I will probably need, I may need 2 coats. I did go ahead this time and pre-paint it white because the MDF is very porous, and being very, very porous, that means you have to, that means it paints, so it soaks up all the paint. So by doing a light coat of white, it's not even a solid coat. I just kind of used a paintbrush and did one coat. So some parts are darker white than others, but that's okay because I really just wanted to make kind of like a seal that paint in. I mean, seal that wood up so that it wouldn't soak all the way up. So I don't have to do multiple coats because that was one issue I did have with the king cake is it soaked up a lot of that paint. And this way I might can get away with one coat, but we will see. And I use wood glue to glue everything down. A lot of people use a lot of people use E6000. I don't know if anything's changed, but E6000 used to be for non-porous to non-porous. Wood to wood is porous to porous, so I just prefer to use something else. So I'm using wood glue, and it works really, really well. So far, I have not had anything fall apart. I use that for my wood ornaments, and no problems. I'm probably not going to paint these things yet because I haven't quite figured out where I'm going to place them on the top because they're just going to be glued onto the top. One thing I do like about a sponge is that I can keep from paint getting it on the inside like I did right there on the inside of that R. Because that does kind of make the letters pop a little bit when you can see that black line, but that's okay. It's all good. So this can completely be customized. You can get real detailed with this. I will probably go over these letters, like add a little accent to the sides. Maybe some black accent because I have some black paint pens, and that might look pretty cool. Okay, so I'm going to move over my little diamonds right here, and let's see if I can straddle this so I can just place it right like that, and we can get started. So one thing I do think I want to do is I want to make it kind of more gesture-ish, and so I think I want some diamonds in here. So I'm just going to pencil, and I have a ruler, but I don't know if I really need the ruler. The ruler's not real long, so I want to make sure I have a perfect little diamond right here in the center. And I know it's going to mostly be covered up. So if I do me a little kind of a light line right there, just so I know where the center is, so I can make my diamond. I know I'm going to mess this up and it's not going to look like a diamond, so I'm trying to figure that out. Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay, I think that'll work. So again, you can paint this however. Look, that line's a little off. I think it should be more like that angle. And then one right here. And then one right there. And you're probably not making any sense out of what I'm doing until you see me start painting it. So that's okay. I mean, I say it's okay. I hope it's okay. Okay. So now I've got, and it looks like a ton of lines, but this is just, I just drew a light line right here down the middle, if you can even see this one right here, just so I can make sure that I have a nice diamond. So you can see this is going to be the diamond. You see that diamond right there, diamond right there. So these are diamonds, okay? So let me sit it back straight. So I'm going to alternate colors. So this one I'm going to start with, I'm going to make it green. And so basically I'll paint this one green, that one green, and then purple, purple. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. If I mess up, we can just paint over it. Don't know yet if I'm going to go in with a dark line. I'll probably just kind of make a little whimsical line, not trying to make it perfectly straight, just to be accent where the edge is. I might even come in with some of that dark green just to right around the edge just to make it pop, but we will see how it looks. That's such a happy green. I think I probably said this before, but I have one part of a wall painted this color green at the studio. And my old studio, I had one whole wall painted that color. I was going to do it at this studio, but it took so long killing everything that I was just so tired. I was ready to go. I was ready to start decorating. It had like outdoor type paneling on the inside. So we had to put like, I mean, a bazillion coats of of kills on it. It was just taking forever. And I finally just said, forget it. I'm not painting the rest of that wall. And so we just went ahead and only had the bottom part of the wall painted, the top part still white, or vice versa. I can't even remember, but it's at the studio, so I can check it out. And then I'll paint this little video. And just how much fun. So this is just to show you that you can do any type of background on this. It does not have to be a solid color. It can be any type of background. And so that's that. This next row will be purple. So I'm going to skip over here and do this one. And I can even put some yellow or some white in here to kind of like highlight this little pattern. But again, a lot of this is going to be covered up. You saw at the very beginning how much of this is covered up with text. And you can see right here. But it's going to be a nice accent, and it's going to pop behind the yellow lettering. I don't really need to see a ton of this scoring lines, but all I need is a little hint of it so I know where to place my lettering. And they had such cute napkins. I wish I would have got some. Maybe if I do another one, I'll get some napkin, or maybe I'll use do the napkin trick with a Easter door hanger. So this kit is $25, and if you're curious how we price things, it's based on the amount of time it takes to laser and the price of the wood. So it comes out to about $25. Everything has gotten so expensive. It's kind of crazy. I mean, wood has gotten so expensive. And a lot of times we used to could get MDF really cheap. And it's great because you can cut it. It doesn't char as much as wood does, even though it's a wood, but it's a manufactured wood, or it's kind of like particle board, I guess. It's like a composite, but it cuts beautifully and it gives you nice, clean, crisp edges, whereas sometimes different woods will char, and so it was a great go-to, but man, it's even gone up a lot in price. And you notice that everything that went up because of supply chain issues, the prices have not come down. It's like once they raise their prices, they don't say, oh, business is doing better, we can get stuff more easily now, and they lower the prices. Restaurants have gone up in price. Everything has gone up. It's ridiculous. I try not to go up unless I have to. Some of my classes have gone up about $3 or $4 on, because I just really don't want to make it unattainable. But you get to that point where it's like, to even turn on the electricity, I mean the air conditioning in the building, you have to know you're going to be able to pay for it. I'm sure that's how everybody feels at home. So that's why I'm starting to do a lot of these with kits that people can just pick up if they want to, and you can make it at home. You can paint them whatever colors you want. And you don't have to, take the class. But if you just don't feel like buying any paints or messing up your house, or you just want to get out, then of course come take a class at the studio. So this is looking kind of cute. I'm kind of digging the little diamond pattern. Very Mardi Gras, isn't it? They also call this a harlequin pattern. But we know harlequin's just a fancy word for jester. This green is so happy. I've never really been a big fan of, I've never really, liked green that much. It reminds me of that kind of poppiness of the 80s, which I wasn't one of those poppy people in the 80s. But I do have to say that it is very happy. And when I first painted the studio, like I said, my old studio, I wanted it to be very, very happy. So I did it yellows and yellows and light blue and this green color. And now I actually really like this color. So I'm kind of doing a halfway second coat. Just as it's drying, I'm just seeing where it needs a little pop. Needs a little bit extra color coverage. I'm trying to do a little of that. I'm going to have to add a little bit more. It looks a little elongated in the video, but it's not quite that elongated. It's a little elongated in this, if I hold it up straight. It's a little elongated, but I'm fine with that. But it looks much more because it's being foreshortened in the video. Yes. Nice, nice, nice. So if you have any questions, just post them below. If I do not see the question, because I am doing this by myself and I need to find out what everybody else's setup is because I don't see comments very well. I also have to wear different glasses to read far away versus close-up glasses, so it's a little awkward for me to try to read, something like if I put a computer or something right here, I can't really read it that well from a distance. So even if I can see that there's comments, I can't read it. I'd have to stop and keep looking at my phone. So I don't get a ton of comments, but or questions. Hopefully that will change. Hopefully people will be chit-chatty more. I know I haven't been very committed to sticking to the same times of doing this. So I have been working on that in the past, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I think this is the third one I've done now. I have been doing them Wednesdays at 8. So that's one thing to try to remember if you're interested. Okay, now I'm putting a little white, using a little white. I'm just going to see if I can just kind of add a little bit like that. Just to make it have a little depth. Oh, I like that. And I used to be like this, but I'm trying not to be anymore. But, I don't feel like you need to have sharp, clean edges everywhere and make it look like it just came out of a factory. I want it to look painterly. You want it to look like it's been created by hand. And I know a lot of people, there's a lot of talk about, oh, it looks too messy. I mean, nobody has said that to me. I'm just talking in generalizations. But, I feel like handmade is a good thing. A lot of people do not think, oh, it looks like somebody made it by hand. Well, yeah, I mean, people appreciate things that are made by hand, I feel. So adding a little bit there. Oh, yes, I really dig that. What you think? Okay, now I'm going to come in with that purple. Yeah, let's put some of this purple. Oops, I should have dried my brush off a little better. I mean, you could be real fancy and tape all this off to have nice, clean, crisp edges, but I'm not doing that. There's a clean edge here. I think I painted that one wrong. That's supposed to be green. That one's supposed to be purple. I'll fix that in a little bit. At least it was a tiny one. And this purple being darker, it's almost like putting a black outline, so you get a nice, clean, crisp edge with it. And remember, if you're hanging this outside to where the sun's going to hit it at all, you are going to want to put a clear coat of some sort on it, maybe just a varnish, just to keep it from fading. I mean, it will fade if it's in the direct sun, but for Mardi Gras season, it's not going to fade. Even using it year after year, as long as you're not leaving it out there permanently. But I mean, if you notice, signs fade. So even things that are made to be outside forever will eventually fade if you leave it out there long enough. But okay, so this one right here, you see I messed that up. This one needs to be purple, but I got to wait for it to dry because it's still a little wet. So that'll be my little touch up I need to do. Fun little pattern here. This is so cute. I'm really digging this. Really liking it. And I'm going to definitely have to figure out some way to come and clean these edges up. Maybe with a smaller brush. It may just be, like I said, with a little black or white. I might do white just to not make it stand out so much. I mean, I do want it to stand out, but I want the letters to really pop. So I don't want all the attention to be on this diamond pattern. And you remember those big chunky stamps they have? You could get some of those because I had a Fleur de Lis one somewhere. It's probably at the studio. And I was thinking about just stamping that on here like a little, almost like a wallpaper pattern. And so you could do that. You could paint a solid color and get some of those stamps. And those are pretty inexpensive. I mean, I think they're under $3. They used to be under $3. I have avoided Michael's and Hobby Lobby for a while just because I spend too much money there. So, and so I don't know how much they cost now, but they're fairly inexpensive, and they have some cute ones. You could probably even you could also get stencils and do this. But this little diamond shape is cute. I think it's really easy to do. You just have to draw you a little grid out, and that's it. I feel like this is taking forever. I just had a little bobo right there. But that's why I wanted to do some of these Facebook Live paintings, because I wanted people to see, because a lot of classes I don't make at the same exact time that everybody else is, because I'm usually helping people or just guiding you. And I don't want people to look at me as a guide, so to speak, as to how their picture or their project should look, I want people to just be doing it because they're having fun doing it. And but I wanted to do some of these because I wanted people to see that, look, I make mistakes all over the place. Um, and you just learn to clean them up, touch it up. You know, Michelangelo did not paint the Sistine Chapel and paint, you know, 100% finished before he moved on to the next section. Everything is a work in progress. That's one issue I have with guided painting workshops. Um, you know, like everybody's going to paint this tree, even though I do some of those. I do make a point to let everyone know that that's not how you paint. You don't paint everything yellow first when you're painting a work of art. Everything, it's a living thing. It grows as you work on it. So touching things up is not a bad thing. It's a natural progression of an art project. That's just how it is. You do not, and you know, some people feel like, oh God, I'm gonna have to really work on this at the end and clean it up. Everybody does. That's part of it. That's part of the work of art. And art is supposed to be fun, and you're supposed to enjoy it. It's supposed to relax you. Well, I don't know if it's supposed to relax you, but it does relax you. And so it needs to be an enjoyable thing for you. And when it stops being enjoyable, then you need to find something else to do because it should be enjoyable. I really enjoy art. I really enjoy anything creative. Well, I don't want to say anything creative, but like I don't play music anymore. I played music in band in school, but not anymore. So I mean, not that kind of creative, but anyway, that's looking cute as can be. And so I am going to put a little of this lilac color down just to kind of accent the edges like I did with this. This came out really dark. You know what? I'm just using the white like I did before. I don't know why I'm trying to add another color. Oh, that is so cute. And anytime you put white in your paint, it white covers really well. So you get, yeah, sometimes if your paint's a little thin, that white just kind of thickens everything up, for lack of a better term. How sweet is that? I love this. Let's see, is that dry? That's almost dry. Alrighty. Hey, Sue. So some of my platforms work better than others. So you may hear me answering a question that you don't see posted because it might be on another platform. And you'll probably hear my dog growling. I don't know what she's doing. Or he, I don't know which one that is. Which dog that is. Okay, so let's see if I can paint that now. Oh, yes. And you can really overwork your stuff. So that's, I gotta stop it. Stop, stop, stop. This is looking so cute. You know what would look cute is a Louisiana cutout and done like this in this kind of pattern. That would be so adorable. Okay, I need a little notepad next to me so I can remember some of these things. Okay, now let's see if I can squeeze in this green into this little spot. I'm going to go ahead and grab my tinier brush. Another little tip, if you have little tiny brushes like these, well, you can do it with any brush, but these tinier brushes, one little trick we did in art school was we would put a little soap and leave a little soap on the tip of your brush so that you could keep your point. So a little tip for the tip of your brush. And I'm going to add a little white in here to kind of make this a little whimsical. So whimsy is my theme for this one. Whimsy. Dadgummit, Tanya. Not paying attention. Oh, I got to touch this one up too because I remember I had a bobo right here. And you see this grain doesn't cover real good. So I just want it to be happy. And we'll let this dry. Let's see, I got a little touch up right up here. Okay, so let's let this dry. Set that aside. And again, I don't know if you've, now on my version I see, this looks a lot more blue than purple, but I noticed when I watched it recorded after the fact, it was, it did look better than I thought it did. So while I got this setting up in my face, let me go ahead and touch up some of these pieces, edges. And I think I will kind of do some black outlines. Not with a ruler or anything, just to clean up the edges and kind of make it a little more clean. Okay, let's get right there. Clean that edge up. I got a lot of thick paint right here on the edge, so I need to let that. So there we go. Let it sit right there. Let's go back to this. I think this is going to look good. I want to paint my mask and my jester hat. So I think I'm just going to be kind of loosey-goosey painting the mask so it kind of looks feathery. And so I'm just going to paint it purple. And I normally would leave it taped down, but that's too far up. I can't reach that far up. Painting your surface white really, really helps. So I'm just going to paint this all purple. And then put a little accent. I don't know if you can really see that. My little light just went out, so there you go. You can kind of see it. And just do it really painterly. And what does painterly mean? Painterly means just be loose. Don't try to have clean, crisp edges. Don't try to make it look like it just came from a factory. And so what I'm doing is I'm just kind of mimicking the shapes, the shape of the outside of this mask to where it looks like it's feathery. And that kind of looks feathery, don't you think? Can you see it better there? Maybe right there you can see it a little bit. So I might put a little green in here. Or maybe not. Maybe I should put gold or yellow. Maybe I should do some little yellow dots. Now, if I had like yellow puff paint, that's what I would use to put little dots on it. You could also glue, like if you have any little gold findings for jewelry, you could glue those on here, make it fun. So they'll sit right there. They'll sit on one edge. And the jester hat should be probably mostly what, yellow? I'm kind of thinking yellow. I'm going to go ahead and paint the whole thing yellow. And then across the bottom, I will put, we'll just see where it goes. Right? We'll just go with the flow. Got a little black blob right there. I think it's fuzz that got in my paint. Okay, so then I'm going to take a little of this white. Just kind of, I don't know if you can really see that, just kind of throwing it in there to make it a little fun. Let that dry for a little bit. I don't think I really need a second coat of these. It looks pretty good. Just to show you how the yellow will pop on top of this. That's going to look really nice. This is not a shape at all. It's just the shape of what I put the lettering all down, and then I just drew a shape around it and cut it out. So this is not like supposed to be a king cake or anything like that. So that'll dry in just a second. This should dry not too quick. I mean, pretty quickly. And so what I think I can do with these letters, let me grab, I got my white paint pen. I don't know how much white's going to really show. I don't know, it looks pretty good. I've got paint all down my arms. I've been sitting here for 20 minutes and already have gotten paint because I said it. Look at me. I'm a mess. Okay, let me grab that black paint pen. Oh, wait, here it is. I thought I had it right here. This is actually the Craft Smart, Michael's brand. Let me slide this closer to me. You know what? I might wait till I get these glued to do it. I'm trying to see as much stuff as I can get done while this is drying. This is almost dry. Almost dry, almost dry. Sitting here, swinging it back and forth in the kitchen, trying to get it to dry quicker. Looking pretty good, looking pretty good. Almost dry. I don't want to walk out the room and use a heat gun and leave y'all sitting here. I'm glad all you can see is this little space in my kitchen because I had like a 10-foot counter and the whole thing, actually I think it might be 12-foot counter. Whole thing's got junk all over it. First 6 feet is art stuff. The rest is dog stuff. And cleaning up after the dog stuff and flea stuff. We've been having a heck of a time with fleas. We almost have it under control. All right. This is drying pretty quick, pretty quick. Sorry, I know. It's like watching paint dry, isn't it? It's almost dry. There's a couple little spots in the middle, but maybe I can get away with working around them. Let's see. Let's see if we can. So I have this black and this white paint pen, and I don't know which one I should use. Let me see if I can do maybe white along the edge, like right there. That does look kind of cool. You always want to make sure that your paint is dry before you go over it, because you will mess up a paint pen if you get it in wet paint. Okay, so see, I'm just outlining like that. And I'm trying to be neat, but I'm not. I don't want to get a ruler out. You know what I mean? Because I do want this to be kind of, you know, cute and whimsical. I don't want it to be, like I said, came from a factory. We don't want it from a factory unless it's the factory of you. That one's, oh, that is dry. That one's still wet. I'm telling you, paint pens are just highlighting, you know, highlighting edges white. White and black paint pens, they can really just change the look of something so much. It really kind of finishes things off, you know. And I like that finished. Not so much polished, but just finished. And, you know, where it doesn't look like, oh, well, they must have forgot to finish this. Didn't that really just clean it up? I mean, I still got some little glitches here and there, but I mean, that's okay. It looks pretty good. And then I might not go over all the different edges, but I might just come in and clean up a couple, or just, you know, add some fun to them. Again, you don't want to spend your whole, stress yourself out on this part, because this is just the background. The letters go on top. And with that said, where's the top of the paint pen? There it is. Okay. Now, let's see how our letters will look. I'm not gluing it down yet. Just want to see. Look how pretty. That really pops. I'm loving it. I am so loving this. Okay, so let me take these lettering pieces, letters off. Scooch them down here so I can reach them. I've been using this one sheet of sketch paper for past couple of things I've painted. Cute, cute, cute. And I'm going to use, oops, that one's got a glob on it. I'm going to use wood glue, like I said. And to me, it's easier to just use my fingers to put it on there. Let me clean this up a bit right here. That one still needs to dry some. Pick this up, get it out the way before I stick to it or put thumb in another thing of paint. That's the little dot for the eye. One eye in this whole thing. And it's from the word Mardi Gras. think that's a little paint glob too. And I have a little needle here I'm using to clean out little places where it, you know, paint got up in between those two spots. Alrighty. I really like this setup, but I do need some brighter lights. It was pretty bright, but my light went out. And when I plugged the light in earlier to the computer sitting in the front, it's like my computer said, you either can have your camera or the light. You can't have both. So, okay. So we'll have an L there. Laissez. Laissez. There's more letters up under here. Where's the Z? Laissez. Les. Bon. Ooh. That was scary. I just saw wet yellow paint on the back side of this, and it was like, ooh, hey, don't mess up. Les bons. Where's the on? Les bons. Now, if you're doing this in the class or you're doing it at your house, you're going to wait till everything's completely dry, not like me. But I do want y'all to see a finished or almost finished piece. How cute is that? Oh my gosh, that checkered background is stinking adorable. Wait a minute. Oh, I said the I was in Mardi Gras. It's in Laissez. Laissez, not Mardi Gras. I am Southern. I am not Cajun. I never took French. Well, I had to take French translation for my master's, not any other French. So I do have the little mask that we can put somewhere. So I was kind of thinking the mask could go like somewhere where it's not going to take away from the lettering. Maybe up here, like that, maybe. And I could get a little spacer to push this up. And then the hat could go like maybe right there. Or the jester hat could go over the roll, the R. So which do y'all like? Because I could put that. Oh, look, I could do that. That's might be what I'm going to do. That may be what I'm going to do. So this is what it's going to look like. And I may come around the edges of this with some white to make it pop. This is still a little wet, so it's not going to... So anyway, so to glue this, I'm just going to use wood glue. And I will paint this a little different, and I will post a picture of this when we're done. I don't want to go over an hour, so I'm going to call this finished, even though I have not glued the pieces down. But you've seen how I've glued stuff down. All I do is just put glue on my fingertips, rub it over the whole thing, and place it. I do have the cutouts here for people to see exactly where their piece is going to go. If you want glitter on it, you can. If you want, I don't know, I was going to put like a black outline on these, but I don't think I need it. I don't think I need it. I think because I did do it on the R a little bit. I don't know if you can really see that. I did a little on the R. I think I may do a little halfway outline on the capital letters, but not anywhere else because I don't think it needs it. I really don't think it needs it. I think it looks awesome the way it is. And that white will just make it pop a little bit. You don't really see it much, but it's enough to kind of mimic the way that we did the diamond pattern. I don't really like checkered stuff, but diamond I like. I like it when it's turned sideways and it's checkered. So I'm going to say checkered, not pattern. I mean, I'm going to say diamond, not pattern. And then after I do this one, I'm going to let this all dry because I can't really glue it to a wet background. So I'm going to let that finish. I'm going to do a little outline on this. And you remember how I like to do the outlines with like a line, dot, dot, line, dot, dot. It's a little whimsical, and I just like the look of it. And I think it's fun. And so that on there should make it pop a little bit because it's sitting right on top of these two purple diamonds. And so I don't really like that, but I think since it's got the white outline, it'll look cute. Or I may just end up sitting it. I don't want to put it too much over a letter because then you can't see the letter. I'm going to add a little more. I wish I had a green paint pen because that would be nice. What did I do with my little paintbrush? There it is. So we're getting close to an hour, and I don't want to go over because it does give me a little issue with my editing software when I want to edit the videos after the fact. It makes it, some of them have a hard time downloading it. So I still have to finish painting my little jester hat. And so I'm just going to put a green band across the bottom, and then I'll, excuse me, I'll zigzag in with some purple when it dries. I actually may come in with a little purple right here. It's kind of cute. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so I'm gonna let this dry, and then I'll put it together, and then you'll see the finished project. But this is pretty much finished. I'll have this sitting. I don't have any paint on it, do I? Pretty much go right like that, and then I may or may not even add this one, but I may add it here. I could tie it on and have it hang in from the twine that's holding this up, but I think it'll work okay right there. May need to come back with some black or maybe another coat of the white paint pen underneath it just to make it pop a little more. So if you see it from the top angle, looking down, yeah, it pops pretty good. So this will be how it's going to look. I think it's stinking adorable. I'll post the pictures when I'm done. If y'all have any questions, just let me know. If you want to get this kit from me, just IM me or give me a call. You can pick it up at the studio. I don't have this one listed particularly as a class. I can add it as a class, and I probably will. It'll probably just have one session since we're at a month away from Mardi Gras. Well, no, we're still not a month away yet. But anyway, so I might add this one as a class also, or I may let you pick between the king cake or this. But these are also available for private parties. This is this will be a $35 class. And anywho, just let me know. Thank you all for coming. Send me a message if you have any questions, and have a good rest of your evening.